Welcome to the Better Off Bonus Call of the Week. We're sponsored by Betterment, the largest independent online financial advisor. You know the drill by now, but just in case you're new, you've got 2 chances every week to get on the air with me, Jill. And why is that important? Because I actually was trained to do this. I'm a certified financial planner. In fact, I am the senior CFP board ambassador. And so I would love to be able to answer your financial questions. So Tuesdays, we do this Better Off Bonus Call of the Week. And then after our longer show on Thursdays, we have a listener question of the week. All you have to do is send us an email. Ask Jill at betteroffpodcast.com. That's it. Very easy. And today we are talking to Gabriel from Washington, D.C. Hello, Gabriel. Welcome to the program. What can we do for you?
Hi, Jill. Thanks for having me on.
Sure.
So I am turning 30 this year, and I'm switching careers after teaching for 7 years, and I'm starting law school in the fall.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been married within the past year, and I am planning to start a family in about another year.
Okay.
And I know I should be getting life insurance.
Wait a second. Let's go back for a second.
Sure.
You know you should be getting life insurance because why? Because if something were to happen to you, your wife wouldn't be able to pay the bills? Or tell me the situation. Is she working?
She's working. She's also a teacher. Actually, in D.C., we get paid pretty well, especially if you're high performing. So she makes about $120,000 a year.
Awesome.
And so, I mean, my question is really, I know we're going to start a family. I'm taking on some debt, and I don't want to leave her in a lurch if something happens.
Okay, makes sense. That makes sense to me. So talk to me about law school. When you say taking on some debt, how much are you taking on?
Yeah, so over the 3 years, it's going to be about $175,000 in loans.
Poor Mark is cringing. I wish I could have a picture of you. You know, like Edward Munch, the Scream? That's what Mark's face looks like right now. He's worried for you.
Well, I've got good news for Mark.
Okay.
And if everything works out, I plan to be a public service lawyer. And as long as the public service loan forgiveness plan works, the law school I'm at is going to help pay my loan payments each month, that after 10 years, most of that debt should just be forgiven. So that's the goal and the hope.
Right.
But obviously, we've got to see how that
All right,
out.
but that makes sense to me. All right, so right now, through your wife's employment in the school system, is she entitled or have a certain baseline of coverage for herself in terms of life insurance?
She does. She has something like salary plus something.
Okay. And she does not purchase anything beyond that. In other words,
No.
She doesn't. There's some employers say, if you would like to, you can buy 5 times your salary, but she doesn't do that.
We don't have that, and honestly, even though I had the same options, it's not something that I purchased up to this point because I didn't have any dependents or necessary beneficiaries.
Yep.
So I think there are potentially some higher options than what she currently has, but I'm not sure what those are.
All right, so I think getting some insurance right now makes a ton of sense for you. You probably will end up getting a better deal because you're young and you're healthy. And if you're both young and healthy, there's kind of no reason not to do it right now. Mark, what was the name of that insurance company? Oh, yeah. So Mark, we had a guest on the podcast a while back, and Mark kind of fell in love with the guy. It's so pretty to see that in person. It really is nice. Anyway, Mark bought a $1 million term life insurance policy. Was it a 20-year? 30-year. So Mark got a 30-year term life insurance policy, and you can get up to $1 million, and it's totally easy to do. So the name of the company is Haven Life. You may have a couple of other choices, and I would get the $1 million just because, you know what? You're going to need it. You're going to be making real money. You're going to have needs. Like you said, you're going to have kids. So if you get $1 million today, even if that's slightly more than you need, you'll be happy and it's cheap. You might as well do it. So what I would do is I would do 2 things. I would go check that out. You can also see through your wife, sometimes unions have separate deals with insurance companies, although, they're not always the best deal. Don't let anyone sell you anything more than a 30-year term life insurance policy. If you each bought $1 million of coverage right now and you have a few kids and you got some debt and you buy a house, all of those things, you'd be pretty much covered. So I would get it now. I wouldn't wait. because, frankly, it's cheap. And, unfortunately, bad things can happen at any time, even though it's highly unlikely that you will ever need this policy. So that's easy to do. And certainly when the transaction is kind of a frictionless one, it's one that I'm always happy to do, even if I throw away a couple of years worth of, I could have gotten this great benefit at work 3 years from now. Who knows where you're going to be? Just have your own. It's easy. It's yours.
Cool.
Make sense?
Cool. Yeah.
Good.
I do have a very quick follow-up question if you still have time.
Of course.
My father-in-law is a big believer in umbrella insurance,
Yes.
And
did a worker fall through his roof and sue him? Is that why he's a big believer?
I don't know that he's ever had to use it, but it's one of those things where I'm curious, like, is it something we should get? Is it something that I know you've talked about, around renovation time and your house that you own that makes sense? If we're renting, we don't own a house. We're not planning to own a house for several years.
And you have no money. How much money do you guys have saved up? You have mostly in retirement plans, I presume?
We're about $130 in retirement, about $30 in cash.
All right. You don't need an umbrella policy right now. Tell your father-in-law, oh, that's such a great idea. When I get my life insurance, I'll take a look at that. That's all you have to do. When you buy a home, I do like umbrella coverage because of the obvious reason, which is bad things can happen in a house, whether it's your friend or a worker or whatever. The other part of it is that right now, because most of your assets are in retirement accounts, those are protected from litigation. So
I see.
If someone did come into your apartment and a chandelier fell on, your wife's friend, and that guy sued you, you can't go after you can go after your 30 grand. They're not going to go after your 30 grand. So what I would say is, hang on when you get that house and you're ready to take the plunge. Yeah, I think umbrella coverage makes sense.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jill.
Good luck. Thanks for calling, Gabriel.
All right. Take care.
Okay, that's a wrap of our Better Off bonus question of the week. If you've got a question, it's simple. Send us an email at askjill@betteroffpodcast.com. We'll arrange to get you on. And don't forget, in just a couple of days, there's a brand new episode of the Better Off Podcast sponsored by Betterment. Talk to you then.